We think that the next decade will be the frontier of the brain. Just as there were revolutions in genetic sciences and there were revolutions in computer sciences, it's now time to understand ourselves. And one of the ways to do that is to examine the unique characteristics of humans and how the brain shapes that ability.
The Institute for Learning and Brain Sciences is a unique interdisciplinary institute at the University of Washington that was formed to bring together people from many different disciplines who are interested in the science of learning.
Patricia Kuhl and Andrew Meltzoff are co-directors of the Institute for Learning and Brain Sciences at the University of Washington. They are both world-renowned scientists conducting groundbreaking research.
There's been a revolution in our understanding of what's happening in the first 3 years of life. Scientists now think that children learn more in the first 3 years of life than they ever do again in any other 3-year period. The little child from 0 to 3 is making phenomenal progress in emotional development, in social development, linguistic development, and so forth. Watch this. The babies are learning a lot by watching us, and so we wanted to test imitative learning in the laboratory and have developed little toys like a dumbbell toy that you can pull apart and put back together. Again, pull apart and put back together. And we do research where a baby comes in the lab and is naive and doesn't know what to do with this toy. We demonstrate what to do with it and then put it across the table and see if the baby will copy us. We have a panel that you can lean down and touch with your forehead. It's a totally novel act. The babies don't do that on their own. But we can show the baby what to do with this device and then present it to them and see if they'll imitate, see the power of learning right in our laboratory.
Thank you.
When I was a graduate student, there was no measure that allowed you to assess what was happening in an alive, awake brain. What's happened in the last decade is that the newest measures can be applied to children. One is this event-related potential recording where the babies wear a nylon cap, and inserted in the cap are these little electrodes that just sit on the scalp, measuring the brain waves that are coming through the scalp based on the activities that are going on in the brain. So when a sound change occurs, like from ba to pa, or when you hear two different words, the brain has a characteristic signature brainwave that you can measure. So this allows us to take brain measures early and use those brain measures predictively. At 6 months, all of our babies are citizens of the world, meaning they can discriminate all the sounds of all languages. And that's a remarkable feat because you and I can't do it. But between 6 months and 12 months, something fairly dramatic occurs. By 12 months of age, the babies can no longer discriminate the sounds that don't belong to their native language. Now that's all happening before you hear any words whatsoever, because first words occur at about 1 year of age. So our question was, what's going on during this period between 6 and 12 months?
小狗西西，小狗西西的嘴巴，你看，
The experiment that we devised was to say, well, what happens if an American baby acquiring English comes to the age of 9 months, and all of a sudden we bring them to the laboratory, and for 1 month we present them with graduate students who happen to be native speakers of Mandarin Chinese. And they're just talking and playing. They read books in Chinese and they talk about toys in Chinese. So the impressive finding was that the children who'd been exposed to about 5 hours of Mandarin Chinese were as good as the children in Taiwan. They had remarkable abilities to hear this just extremely subtle contrast. This sound distinction and the brain measure showed that the brain reacted differently than children in the control group.
The children are so curious about the world that when we sit across the table and test the children, it's really a stunning and heartwarming experience every time that you're in front of a baby. That's a fresh little mind that's looking at this problem for the very first time. If you go slowly enough, you can just see the wheels clicking inside their head. But at the same time that we scientists are looking at the children, what we see is a little scientist and the child looking back at us. I mean, we're sort of nose to nose. We're looking at them, trying to understand what's going on in their world, and the children are looking at us, trying to understand what's going on in our world.
Good job.